I've been all in my phone, I got options. And I don't wanna tell you to drop it, but I don't wanna play your fair. Yeah, something that makes me look at you too out there. Oh, baby, you can give it something. Baby, I can run all the time.
What's good, y'all? It's your girl Kane. Welcome back to my channel. First, I want to give a big thank you to all of my subscribers. I want to give a thank you to all of my new subscribers that's coming in. Thank you for clicking on my videos, watching my videos, enjoying my content, and showing me the support. Second, I want to thank my continuing subscribers. Thank y'all for still rocking with me. Thank y'all for watching all my videos. Thank you for liking my content. It means a lot to me. Y'all already know when I'm sitting here at my desk is a story time. So y'all already know what's getting ready to take place. Now, I want to do my disclaimer. None of the names that are used in this story time belong to any of the people in the story time. The names are changed to protect the privacy of the trifling, not the innocent. Okay? I want to say this particular story time, I have nothing against this group of people and their religion and what they believe in. Okay, I'm doing this story time, like I said, like I do most of my story times, to talk about things that I went through in my life, because there's people that may have went through it, are going through it, or maybe just started going through it. So to hear somebody else going through it and see how they dealt with it is always healing, is always helping for somebody else. Okay, so like I said, I have nothing against this group of people and their religion or anything like that. This particular story time is just to speak about what I have went through. Okay, now with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and hop into the story. Y'all seen the title, and that's the reason why you clicked on this video. Okay, this particular story time took place in the city of New York, in Brooklyn. I don't remember exactly what year it was, but it's always a but. Okay, let's get into it. So let's give this guy a name. Let's call him Isaac. Okay, let's call him Isaac. Now, I met Isaac on Facebook. Okay, and no, I'm not the type of person, like I said, I don't go around just meeting guys offline. One day, I get a message on my Facebook Messenger, and it's from a guy, Isaac. Okay, his page was private, but he had a picture of his face. I'm going to describe him. He had a really big beard here. Okay, he had a lot of this. It was long, and he had the 360 waves. Okay, brown skin, nice, very nice looking guy. Okay, he had a little tats. You know, his ears were pierced. He wasn't flashy. Okay, in the picture. So I'm just like, he sends me a message, and he's like, "Hey, I be seeing you downtown Brooklyn, the Fulton Street shopping area a lot when I'm at work." So I'm just like, in my mind, I'm just like, this is stalkerish. This is stalker activity. So I didn't engage in it, because just like, you see me all the time and you don't say anything. Okay, so at the current time, I was downtown a lot because I was going to college downtown. Okay, there's few colleges down there, but I was going to one of those colleges. I guess he maybe was seeing me en route, walking to the train station or walking from the train station. Sometimes I would get off at different train station stops to get to this school. Depends on what time I was getting down there. Some days I would get off one train station stop. Some days I get off another close to the school. Whatever. He kept writing me. Sending me messages. So one day, I'm just downtown. I think it was like a weekend. And I'm shopping. Okay? If y'all from Brooklyn, y'all know about Fulton Street, the shopping strip. Okay? Y'all know what it is, what's it's like on the weekends. Y'all know. So I'm down there, I'm shopping, I'm minding my business. And there is this guy. This guy walks up to me, okay? He's got on a purple t-shirt, blue jeans, black Air Force, okay? Now, Back in the days, the Black Air Force really didn't mean anything. But nowadays, the Black Air Force says a lot. And this story time will speak volumes as to why this man had those Black Air Force on. But anyway, I'm in a sneaker store, Dr. J's. Y'all know about Dr. J's, okay? I don't know if Dr. J's is still open because where I live, they don't have them type of stores here, okay? Now, Dr. J's, I'm in Dr. J's, and this guy walks up to me. He walks up to me. He's like, hey. So I turn around, and I'm looking at him like, hey. Bougie Kane, okay? So he's like,
I've been hitting you up and you don't be responding. You just read my messages. You don't say nothing back.
so I'm like, you've been hitting me up where? He's like,
I've been hitting you up on Facebook.
I'm like, okay, I have a lot of friends on Facebook. He goes,
The last message I wrote you last night.
so when he said that, I'm just like, oh, okay, I know exactly who he is. So I says his name, like Isaac. He goes, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm still like in my head, y'all. I'm just like, this is stalker. This is stalker. It's just a stalker mentality, y'all. Cause I don't know how you found my Facebook, and then where do you work at down here that you were able to walk into the sneaker store and see me? All right. So I did ask him that. I'm just like, well, where do you work at down here that you see me in this store or you see me all the time? Because you did mention you see me all the time. He's like,
oh, I work 2 blocks down.
That's all he said. He works 2 blocks down. So I'm like, oh, okay. So we stayed on there talking. The conversation was a little awkward because, like I said, he was giving me stalker vibes. All right. So he's like, he walks away and he comes back. He has a little like a receipt paper and he hands it to me. He's like,
Here, this is my number. Call me.
so I'm like, okay. And I stuffs the paper in my bag and I kept doing shopping, doing what I was doing. He leaves. Later on that night, he sends another message and was like, still waiting for that call. So I go to his profile because y'all, yeah, I'm the CIA. Okay, whenever I meet somebody, I like investigate. You know, I know every woman does that. Men probably do it too. You type their name in, looking around, seeing who they're connected to, what they got going on. You know, just see if their conversation matches what's on their social media. Okay, I didn't see anything on the page because the page is private. So I'm just like, all right. So I respond to the message. We're in the message is talking. He's asking me, when am I gonna call him? So I'm just like, all right, let me go ahead and call him. So I calls him, and he's like,
finally.
And I'm like, finally what? He's
like, you finally called. Like, I'm really interested in you. I really want to talk to you.
So I'm just like, okay, talk. So he's like,
yeah, my name is Isaac.
And at the time, he just says, I'm 20.
My name is Isaac. I'm 28 years old. I live in Brooklyn.
That's all he said. So I'm like, do you have kids or you have a girlfriend? So he's like,
if I had a girlfriend, I wouldn't be pursuing you.
Now he never answered the question about the kids. So I'm just like, okay, so be it. All right. If somebody responds to you like that, that kind of means they don't have nobody, right? Y'all respond in the comments. But just keep watching. So I'm just like, all right. My name is Kane. I'm in my 20s. I don't have any kids, and I'm single. This is what I told him, which was facts. And I live in Brooklyn as well. I lived in Crown Heights at this time. So he's just like,
okay, well, I like what I see. I see you all the time walking, and he said I never really got a chance to really say anything to you because you be moving quick. You be moving real fast.
So I'm just like, all right, so what exactly do you do again? Because you say you work a couple of blocks down. He's like,
yeah, I work at this office and I'm just kind of like a motivational speaker.
That's what he said. So I'm just, when I hung up from him, y'all, I'm just like a motivational speaker. What the downtown? What office is downtown that is like motivational speaking? I was really trying to piece this together, but I couldn't. So I said, all right, fine. Because there is office buildings further on, if you know about downtown Brooklyn, y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't remember the name of the street, but there's like a street behind Fulton where it's just like big office buildings. So I'm in my mind, I'm just like, okay, maybe that's what he's talking about. Because there's like a parole office back there. There's like, what is it? I think it's like housing. It's like the housing building. It's just a lot of office buildings back there. Okay, so he said he worked 2 blocks down. I'm in my head. I'm just like, okay, maybe he works back there. Maybe they're renting a building to do motivational speaking. I don't know, y'all. That's just what I put in my head. All right. So we just conversating. I'm just like, I'm starting to think he's cool. We're talking on the phone for days now, and it goes into 2 weeks. Okay. He calls me one day. He's like,
Yeah, I haven't seen you downtown.
I'm like, yeah, I'm on spring break. So if I ain't got to go to that school, I'm not going to that school. Okay. Like, I'm on my side of town. So he's like,
Oh, where's that?
so I'm like, Crown Heights. So he's like,
Okay, well, I'm in Queens right now.
I said, what's in Queens? He's like,
I'm in Jamaica, Queens, actually, and I moved to Jamaica, Queens over the weekend.
so I'm like, oh, okay. What made you move to Jamaica, Queens? He's like,
Oh, I just needed the space and found a nice house or whatever.
so I'm like, oh, that's cool. So he's like,
Yeah, my people is having a little get together. Do you want to come? Like, do you want to come with me?
so I'm just like, okay, sure, why not? Y'all, I didn't want him to have my address. I didn't want him to know exactly where I lived at. So I told him I would meet him at the train station. He tells me to just take the J train to Jamaica, Queens, last stop, and he'll meet me at the train station. I did just that. So I'm standing up there outside, I'm waiting, and finally I see him come walking up. He gives me a hug, and we're walking. So he's like,
Yeah, I need to pick something up from this store.
it was like a little discount store, maybe a block and a half away from the train station. We go there, and he's getting toilet paper and toothpaste and some other stuff. Okay, so he's like,
Yeah, we're just gonna take a cab to my house. It's not far, but I don't feel like walking.
so I'm like, all right. So we get to the house. He's like,
Let me run this inside.
so he goes into the house, takes the bag in. I'm still standing outside. He didn't invite me inside, which was fine, okay? Because this is my first time linking up with him, and I wasn't trying to. Y'all know what I'm saying. He comes back outside. He's like,
All right, well now we're gonna head over to my friends where the get together is at.
so I'm like, all right, cool. So he's like, and his homeboy lives like 3 blocks away. So we walk the three blocks. We get to the house. It's like a mint green and gray looking house, ugly as hell. And y'all know how the houses in Queens look, okay? So it's one of them houses. So we go through the gate, we go up the little steps, he taps on the door. The guy opens up the door and he's like, just looking. So Isaac is like,
Hey, what's good?
and they dap each other, okay? Now Isaac turns around and says,
This is Kane. Kane, this is
let's just name the guy Kashif. He's like,
Kane, this is Kashif. Kashif, this is Kane.
so Kashif is like,
How you doing?
so I'm like, hey, how you doing? Now y'all, Kashif had the beard too. He was light skinned. He had the beard. It wasn't as long as Isaac's or thick as Isaac's, but he had one. It was kind of like he just started growing it. And he didn't have waves. He had a Caesar cut, okay? And he had on He had on this purple outfit, okay? I'm gonna describe the purple outfit. The purple outfit had little gold fringes hanging off the bottom part, and it had some stitching on the front. Now I didn't get a chance to see what it said at that moment because he had an apron on. All right, so I walks in, and Kashif is still staring at me. Okay, now I was dressed regular. I had on some blue jeans, I had on some Tims, some construction Tims, and I had on a top and my purse. I had the long weave. If I find the picture, I'm gonna insert the picture of the outfit that I had on. Okay, so I walks in, Kashif is looking at me. He's staring at me, but he's not staring at me in a sexual manner. He's staring at me in kind of like confusion or disgust. If y'all get what I'm saying. So I'm looking at him back in the same manner, like, what the fuck are you looking at me like that for? Okay. So Isaac is like,
You can sit down. You can have a seat. Sit down.
so I sits down, and there's women, there's other women there. They're not dressed how I'm dressed, okay? They had on hijabs, but their face wasn't covered, okay? And they had on champion sweatshirt with sweatpants. So I'm literally the only female there that's just dressed like this, okay? Now Isaac didn't tell me what type of people these were. He just said it was a get together, okay? And he wanted me to come. So Isaac walks away and he goes into the kitchen, and it's just like maybe 10 guys in the kitchen, and they all have those purple outfit things on, okay? I'm sitting there, the women are sitting around and they all staring at me. So I'm looking back at them like, I don't know what to say. I'm just sitting there. So one of the girls, she's like,
I'm Fatima. What's your name?
I'm like, I'm King. How are you? She's like,
I'm great.
I said, same here. The other ones didn't say anything. So she's like,
You from Long Island?
I said, no, I'm from here. I'm from Brooklyn. She's like,
Oh, okay. I live in Long Island.
so I'm like, cool. Do you like it there? She's like,
It's all right. I would prefer to live here in Queens or in Brooklyn. I'm still trying to decide.
so I'm like, all right, that's cool. So Isaac comes back out, and he comes out with Kashif. So Kashif is like,
This is my wife, Fatima.
so Fatima says,
Yeah, we introduced ourselves already.
Kashif looks at Fatima and is like,
You introduced yourself.
and she's like,
Yeah.
he goes,
Oh.
weird, okay. Y'all, now y'all probably wondering about the purple capes, purple outfit, okay. These were the guys, if you are familiar, and I'm guessing they're all over the place because I recently seen them where I live at, okay. You would probably seen these same people in Brownsville on Pickens Avenue. You probably seen them in Crown Heights at Utica Avenue train station. And you probably seen them downtown Fulton Street. They wear these velour purple, I don't know what to call it, vest or whatever, and it has like gold writing. These are Israelites or Hebrew. I don't want to get taken out in the comments, okay? Because like I said, I'm not really familiar with that religion and what goes on. I'm just speaking of my experience with these group of people, okay? So they they do a lot of speeches and things like that outside. These were the group of people, because I was putting it together. I'm like, these are the people that I see when I'm walking to when I'm going to school, and they're talking on the mic, and they're They have a book, they're speaking. Like, all right. So it kind of started to dawn on me when Isaac said he was a motivational speaker. So I'm just like, is Isaac a motivational speaker for this? I didn't want to ask him right then and there, but that's what came to my head, y'all, because that's what they do. So the rest of the men, they come out the kitchen, they have plates of food. I didn't eat any of the food because I don't eat everybody's cooking, and it wasn't the food didn't really look appetizing to me, okay? It was chicken, um, rice. It was different foods, okay, vegetables, things like that. So Isaac comes and sits next to me, Kashif, and it's another guy. Let's get the other guy a name. Let's call him Jeff, okay? So Jeff and Kashif is like openly inquiring about me, okay? Now normally, y'all know how this goes. You would be somewhere, pull to the side, like, yo, so what's up with you and such and such? Y'all dating? That's your girl, or that's your wigger? Like, they just did it right then and there. So Kashif is like,
So this your girl? This your girlfriend or something? Or what's going on with y'all?
so Isaac is like,
It's just somebody that I hang out with a lot, and we're on the verge of probably taking it to that level.
so Jeff is like, like that's just what he does. And Kashif says,
Did you tell Nene about this?
and Isaac is like,
No, I didn't.
now the way Isaac answered was like annoyed. He answered annoyed, like, why the did you bring this person up? This is how Isaac answered. So now, y'all, I have something else to think about and try to piece together, okay? You say you're a motivational speaker. These are the men that be outside, doing their speeches or whatever. And now Kashif is bringing up somebody named Nene. And did you tell Nene that you were hanging out with me and trying to pursue a relationship with me? So I'm just like, who is Nene? Is Nene his mom? Like, who the fuck is Nene? So Isaac looks over at me. Okay, he gives me that look like, he's like,
Are you good? You alright?
so I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, yeah, I'm great. I'm good. He's like,
You having fun?
I'm like, yeah, it's cool. But in my head, y'all, I'm just like, I'm ready to get the fuck out of there. Okay, it's awkward. It's real awkward. Okay, I'm bad enough. All the women here are like fully clothed. Now I'm not saying I wasn't fully clothed. Y'all see what I had on, but they had on baggy sweatsuits and they had hijabs on there. They were covered. So this is a religious group I'm seeing. Okay, after a while, they're playing checkers. Some of the other guys were getting out of line. They were arguing. They calling each other wiggers. They calling each other wiggers. And I'm just looking. I'm like, they're in the kitchen though. Okay, I think they were drinking because they all would like huddle around with this bottle. I don't know what the bottle was, but I'm ready to go. Okay, I was getting ready to make up some so I can get out of there, literally. So Isaac starts seeing that I am taking no interest in this little get together. Okay, and he's like,
You ready to go?
so I'm like, yeah. hmm it wasn't getting late, but it was getting dark. It was like a little after 8 p.m. Okay, so he stands up.
And he's like, let me let my brothers know I'm leaving.
So he goes to the kitchen and he's like, they talking or whatever. And then I hear them praying. So then after the prayer, Isaac comes out. Kashif and Jeff come walking out. The other guys, they're still in the kitchen. Kashif was like,
It was a pleasure meeting you, Kane.
very sarcastic, weird, and attitudish. So I'm like, it was a pleasure meeting you too, Kashif. So Fatima stands up and she's like, she's reaching for a hug. So I gave her, a church hug. And she was like,
it's nice meeting you. I hope I see you again. I hope you guys do end up being in a relationship because you seem like a very cool person.
and I'm like, okay, thank you. Nice meeting you too. The other women, they just waved. They didn't say anything. So I'm just like, this is weird. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but it's weird. So we leave the house and we're walking. He's like,
I just need to stop by my house real quick before we go to the train station.
so I'm like, all right, cool. Because remember, Kashif's house was like 3 blocks away from Isaac's house. So we're walking, and Isaac is like,
So what do you think of my friends?
the real answer I wanted to say was your friends are pretty weird. Okay, but besides the religion, they're weird. But I was just like, they're okay. You know, it's kind of different from my friends, what I'm used to. But I like meeting new people, so I think they're cool. So he goes,
Okay, like what do you mean different?
so I'm just like, Kashif was very indirectly rude, and Jeff was kind of the same way. So Isaac is like,
Like yeah, Kashif has a very strong personality sometimes. So that's just how he is.
and I'm just like, okay. And he's like,
Jeff is just Jeff.
I'm like, okay. And I'm like, the other women, like, they really didn't say too much of anything. He's
Like yeah, they speak when they're spoken to.
I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, so I didn't directly speak to them, so they didn't say anything to me. He's just like,
I'll explain it another time.
so we get to his house. He goes in the house. He goes, walks up the little porch, goes into the house. I'm still standing there waiting. I'm inside the gate, y'all. So he comes back out. He's like, all right. And he hails a cab. We get into the cab and we go to the train station. Now we get there. Isaac gives me a hug and he's just like,
I hope I see you again because I really like you. Like I really wanna take this somewhere.
so I'm just like, okay, cool. You know, yeah, we can see each other again. Just you. Okay. Now, day by day, Isaac is still sending me messages. He's texting me, he's calling me. But I wanted to get on that Facebook page. I want to see. So I sent him a friend request. He didn't accept the friend request right away. So one day we talking on the phone and I'm just like, I sent you a friend request on Facebook. And he's just like,
Oh, I didn't see it.
I'm like, yeah. He's like,
All right, let me look right now. Oh, I got you on the phone.
so he goes,
Oh, yeah, I see it now.
and he accepts the request. So I was just like, when I get off the phone, I'm gonna go through this page. CIA, okay, federal agent. All right. So we just doing our regular conversation on the phone, okay, and we hang up. So I ran straight to Facebook. I go on his page. Isaac's got all kinds of videos and statuses. The statuses was like very degrading of women. It was like all his statuses had something to do with degrading women, and putting women down. So I'm confused now. I'm just like what the fuck is this? And he's got videos like of him praying. He's got videos of him and these same guys where they're doing their speeches outside, all kinds of crazy stuff. So all kinds of stuff, okay? So now I'm going through the friends list. I'm just going through the whole page. I don't see anything. So now when I go through the photos, there's like pictures that he was tagged in. Okay. So there's this light-skinned woman and she's covered in her picture. Okay. She has like pictures of two little kids and she's tagged him in it. There's no caption to the photo. He's just tagged in the pic. And then there's like other pics. There's other people tagged. So I'm just like, okay, maybe this is a family member. I don't know. I don't want to ask him because then it's just like, damn, you nosy. Okay. So I'm just like, I'm gonna just wait to the perfect time, okay? Because like I said, he never answered my question when I asked him if he had kids. He never answered that. So one day, I'm going to school and I see Isaac. Isaac is with the group of men and they're doing their thing, okay? Isaac walks away, he walks over to me and we side church hug, okay? So he's like,
I'm assuming you're on your way to school.
and I'm like, yeah, I got my class starts at 12. I'm just a little early because I want to grab me a bite to eat. He's like, oh.
Oh, okay. Where you going to get some food from?
I'm like, I'm gonna stop at Burger King. This at the time, y'all, I was eating meat. So I'm gonna go to Burger King, I'm gonna get me a little Whopper meal and I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna eat and walk. He's
Like Burger King.
I'm like, yeah. He goes, mm. So I'm like, what's wrong with Burger King? Are they nasty over there? He's like,
The whole damn chain is nasty.
so I'm like, right? He's like,
Hey, listen, Queen.
and this was like a whole new talk, okay? Because Isaac never spoke like this to me. So
He's like, listen, Queen. I think you should go to the salad bar up the block and get you a green salad and get you a vegetable drink. You're just too beautiful to be eating processed foods, or you're too beautiful to be eating foods from the white man.
right. Okay. This is unfolding very quick. So I'm just looking at him and I'm like, what does the white man have to do with me getting a Whopper meal and walking to school? He's like,
I'll explain it to you later because this take a long time to explain. But I really think the salad bar would do you better justice. You have a very beautiful body frame and you don't want to mess that up with the Whopper meal.
so I was agreeing with that. I'm like, yeah, you might be right, but I'm walking and eating. So by the time I get to that school, whatever fat I done swallowed, it is being shed off from me walking, okay? He's like,
Well, just let this be your last time eating that horrible food.
right, okay. So I'm just like, yeah, you're right. He's just like,
This dress looks really nice on you.
I'm like, thank you. Okay. Because it has started to get warm. So I had on a yellow long dress or whatever. It had the little 3/4 sleeves. Okay. I think I looked cute. I had my white Air Force on. I looked cute. So one of his brothers, I'm gonna say his brothers, that's what we call him. One of his brothers comes walking over, but this was an older guy. So he's looking at me like, and does that. So I'm just like, I look at Isaac. I'm like, your people, your brothers, they have some kind of eye problem. Isaac turns around and he looks at them and he looks back at me and he's like,
Like, which one?
so I'm like, the older dude. So he's like,
Oh, that's just how he is.
so it's like every time I would express how these men were acting towards me, Isaac would brush it off. But remember, Isaac was on Facebook writing all this degrading stuff about women, okay? All right. And he says to Isaac,
As my brother, you're supposed to be on the line. What are you doing?
so Isaac is like,
Oh, I'm just talking to my close friend.
so the guy says,
Your close friend?
and Isaac is like,
Yeah.
so the guy looks at me and goes,
I would like to speak to you later on today.
and Isaac is like,
Okay.
and the guy looks at me, nasty again, stank, and walks away. So I said to Isaac, I think whenever I come around your people, I probably need to have different clothing on because, I know your religion. I see the women are like really covered, out of respect. So Isaac was like,
We'll speak about that at a different time. But enjoy the rest of your day, Queen. I'll call you.
so I'm like, okay. He's like,
And get that salad.
I'm like, okay. and I walk away. Later on, y'all, Isaac calls my phone and he's just like,
"Hey Queen, how was your day?"
and I'm like, my day was great. How about yours?
He was like, "It was amazing. It was amazing."
I'm like, okay. It was amazing. Mine was amazing too. So he goes,
"How much more time left do you have at that school?"
so I'm like, I have like another year. He goes,
"Well, did you ever think about like homeschooling?"
they had homeschooling for college. So he's
Like, yeah, online school.
so I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. So I'm just like, I never thought about that. I like to go into the school, you know, because I like to interact with people. So Isaac starts showing his true colors, y'all. Okay, Isaac is like,
Well, no woman of mine is gonna be sitting amongst the man that I don't really agree with that.
and I'm like, the man. What are you talking about? So he's like,
What are you doing tomorrow?
I'm like, nothing. He's like,
You have class?
and I'm like, no. He's like,
Okay, well, I want you to come to my house.
so I'm like, okay. So he's just like,
I live with my family. Is so I'll see if the house will be empty. If not, I just want to warn you, I live with my family, and sometimes it can get a little noisy.
so I'm like, all right, cool. Now y'all heard me just say, Isaac said he lived with his family, right? Keep watching. So the next day, this is our thing. I meet him at Jamaica Queens train station. He meets me there, get a cab, we go to the house. Okay. This time I got to Jamaica Queens train station. He's like, just hail a cab and I'll pay for it when you get here. So I'm like, all right, cool. I hails the cab, gets in the cab, gets to the house that Isaac stayed at. Okay. Isaac comes outside. He's like,
I gotta run to that corner store up there.
so we go to the corner store. Isaac is getting bread, and he's getting something else. I can't really remember. So he grabs those things like hero bread. He gets those things, and we're walking back to the house. He goes,
"Yeah, I told you I live with my family."
I'm like, yeah, you told me that last night. He goes,
"Yeah, so just so you know what you're walking in on."
I'm like, okay. I'm thinking it's his family. We get to the house. We coming up the steps. Isaac unlocks the door, opens with the door. There's a female running, like she's on the, I don't even know how to describe it. Okay, so the door opens. Isaac goes up, like to go in, and there's a woman running past really quick. Like she's really heavy, because the way she was running on the floor was really hard. Doom, 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 okay? And she's got on a lavender hijab and lavender like dress to match it. So I come in and I'm looking like to see where she ran because I didn't see her. So just looking, there's the kitchen is like facing the living room and the door. So there's a dark skinned woman in the kitchen. She's fully covered, face, everything, and she's folding clothes. Okay, laundry clothes from a laundry basket. So Isaac is like,
You can sit down.
he's not acknowledging none of these women or the kids because there was kids there. He goes, I'm gonna give her a name. Let's just call her Deb. He's like,
"Dad, give me a bottle of water out the fridge. Give me 2 of them."
so she goes,
Yes.
she goes to the refrigerator, grabs the 2 bottles of water and brings it, hands him one and hands me one. I'm looking. I'm like, so I'm like, thank you. She's like, goes back into the kitchen and she's folding the clothes and staring at me. So the female, the heavy female that ran past, she comes walking. She's covered. Her face was covered, everything. She goes,
Hello.
so I'm like, hi, how you doing? She's like,
Great.
and she goes into the kitchen and starts grabbing pots so she can cook. We just gonna call her Sarah. Isaac says,
"Sarah, what are you cooking?"
Sarah's like,
I haven't exactly decided yet, but once I get it going, I'll tell you.
Isaac says,
All right, perfect.
so I'm just like, just sitting there, like, looking around. So Isaac is like,
Yeah. So, like I was saying about the school, so I think you should try homeschooling instead of going into the building and being around the man.
so I'm like, yeah, about that. Like, what do you mean demand? Like, men in my class? He's like,
I really don't like affiliating myself with things that are created by the man.
and I'm just like, at that point, I clearly I understood what he was saying when he said demand. So I'm just like, okay, okay, and he's just
Like, yeah, but like I said, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
so I'm like, I mean, we're already at the bridge. Let's just cross it. He gives me a look like,
When we get to when we time to cross the bridge, we'll cross it.
I'm like, we're already at the bridge, so why not cross it? He says, he sits up and he's like,
You know, Kane, it's you have some traits about you that I'm really trying to look past, and sometimes it's hard.
and I'm just like, what type of traits? What are you talking about? He's like,
You have a very hard time listening or following directions.
what directions am I supposed to be following? Is there an instruction booklet somewhere I'm supposed to be looking at? Like, this is what I'm asking him. He's just like,
I just feel like women should let the man take the lead, and when a man voices his concerns on something, the woman should listen and take heed to those concerns.
so I'm just like, right. He's like,
You saying right? Are you understanding?
so I'm like, yeah, I totally understand. He's like,
Like, so when a man tells you something, you're not supposed to say anything back.
and I'm just like, says who? He says that right there. You are not supposed to speak back to me. So I'm like, really? He's like, really? So I'm like, okay. And I just sat back. Okay. I didn't turn up yet, y'all. Yet. So the dark skinned chick and the other woman, they both stopped what they were doing. They looking. So I looked over at them. They went right back to what they was doing. I'm just like, it's something very weird going on in this house. Very weird. This is what I'm saying to myself. So Isaac is like,
Are you staying for dinner?
I'm like, nah, I gotta go to my mom's house, so he's like,
So you don't have time to eat?
and I'm like, no. He goes,
Well, I told Sarah to prepare enough food for you too.
so I'm just like, I mean, I could take it to go. He's like,
I would want you to stay and eat, but it's up to you for right now.
for right now? Okay. I'm like, so I'm deciding I'm gonna just take myself home and link up with my mother, like I said. He's like,
Okay, that's not a problem.
so y'all, Isaac gets a phone call and he's like,
I'll be right back.
he goes outside to take the call. I'm sitting on the couch still, and the dark skinned chick comes to the kitchen door and she looks out and she goes,
Where did he go?
he said he had a phone call. She goes,
Oh,
so I'm nosy. I want to know because Isaac is not gonna tell me. So I'm like, are you related to Isaac? So she's getting ready to answer the question. The door opens. Isaac comes in. So Isaac is like,
You was leaving right now still?
and I'm like, yeah. He goes,
It's all right. That works out because I have to go and meet my brother. So I guess we can just ride the train together.
so I'm like, all right, fine. Never got a chance to get the answer. So while me and Isaac is waiting for the cab, I just come out and say, "So is that your mom or your sister or something?" So Isaac looks at me and was like,
Who are you talking about?
and I'm like, "The two women in your house." He goes,
That's my family.
and I'm like, "I know that. Are y'all related?"
He goes, "That's my family," and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay, right. And that was it, y'all. Okay. The train ride was awkward because I'm just like, this is weird. Okay. Isaac is weird. So I'm while the train ride, I'm just like, Isaac, I was looking at your Facebook page and I noticed how you write a lot of degrading things about women on your page. He says,
What's degrading about whatever I said?
so I'm just like, you be writing a lot of degrading things about women. You write a lot of, ignorant, rude things when it comes to women. It's just kind of concerning to me. And Isaac was like,
I just feel like a woman should know her place.
and I'm like, right. He's like,
You get what I'm saying?
and I'm like, yeah, most definitely. So I get to my stop. Isaac stands up. I try to reach to give him the church hug. He takes my arm and put it down and says,
We're gonna we're gonna collaborate soon. So I need a relationship hug.
and I'm like, collaborate? And he's like,
Yeah.
right. I give him the hug that he's asking for, and I get off the train. In my head, I'm just like, I don't think I can. I don't think I can with Isaac no more because Isaac is weird. Okay, Isaac has something wrong with him. Okay, he's taking this really, really far, and I don't even think it's supposed to go like this. Okay, he's got his own little rules going on, and it's not adding up to me. Okay. All right, y'all. For the trolls that be coming in the comments, let me clear this up real quick. I decided that I needed to go into my nosy bitch CIA FBI work. Not that it really mattered, but I still wanted to know who these women was in Isaac's house and why they was there, because he wasn't trying to tell me. So that's the only reason why I decided to go back to his house. I just had to explain that real quick before the story continued. For those in the comments that be like, I wouldn't have went back there because that nigga this, that nigga that. All right. So back to the story. Okay, so boom. The next day, stupid Kane, Isaac sends a text message and was like, since you didn't have dinner, can you have dinner tonight? We're going to have fish. And I'm just like, I don't know. He goes, that's not the answer I was looking for. So I'm just like, right. Isaac calls my phone and I'm like, hey, he's like,
Hey, what's up? What's up, Queen?
I'm like, nothing much. He's
like, what are you doing?
So I'm like, I'm home, just got home from school, kind of tired. I just pulled the tired card on him, y'all. So Isaac is like,
well, do you have school tomorrow?
I'm like, no. He goes,
well, you can come to my house, have dinner, and you can spend the night.
And I'm like, nah, I don't want to spend the night. He goes,
because you say you're tired, and I really want to see you.
So I'm just like, I mean, I could stop by, but the spending the night thing, I don't know about that. He goes,
well, just bring some items in your bag, and if you change your mind, you're here. You don't have to worry about stuff like that.
So I'm like, okay.
He's like, let me know when you're at the train station.
So y'all, I showers, changes clothes, goes to get on the train. I get to Jamaica train station. I call Isaac. Isaac is like,
all right, I'm off the block. I'm already in the area.
So he meets me at the train station, and he's got some bags or whatever. We get in the cab and we go to his house. Okay. So when we get there, Kashif ends up stopping by the house, and him and Isaac go back outside so they can talk or whatever they were doing. So I'm sitting there now, and the dark-skinned woman sitting, and she's braiding the little girl's hair. Very beautiful children, by the way. So she's braiding the little girl's hair, and she looks over at the door, and then she looks at me and says,
"Where did he go?"
and I'm like, outside with Kashif. She says,
"What are they doing?"
I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. So she says,
"Are you his girlfriend?"
and I'm like, no, like I'm just a friend. So I said, are you like his mom or something? She says,
"No, I'm his wife."
Oh, hell no!
I said, you his wife? She says,
"Yeah."
what? You his wife? She's like,
"Yes, we've been married for 2 years."
then she looks over because the light-skinned lady, Sarah, is in the kitchen and she's cooking. She says, and
And that's another one of his wives. She started out like you.
I said, what do you mean like me? She says,
He introduced her as a friend, and then they got married.
and she's still looking at the door. And I'm just like, so did y'all all live together? She's like,
"Yeah, we all live here."
and I said, these are his kids? She's like,
"Yes, this is my daughter, and that's her son."
right. So I'm just like, so what's the living situation? Y'all sleep in one big room, one big bed? Like, how's this going? She's like,
Well, the kids have their room together, and then me.
and once she said me, the door opened. She sits back and she's just braiding. So Isaac runs to the back of the house and he runs back with a paper and he stops and he goes,
Y'all good?
and I'm like, yeah. He goes,
Okay.
and he's looking at her and then he goes to the door and goes back out. She looks again towards the door and she says,
We have our own rooms. He has a room, I have a room, and Sarah has a room.
right. This is a lot. This is a lot to put in my backpack. My bag is heavy. My back is weighed. Like the whole wives, whoa, it just wore my book bag down, y'all. I was wore down. Like I'm really, really shocked, y'all, okay? So I'm just like, so y'all like legally married. She's like,
Yeah.
so I'm just like, do you like, are you feeling some type of way about me being here? She's like,
Even if I did, I can't say anything.
so I'm just like, this is Isaac like very demeaning, like demanding to y'all? Like she
So yeah, he yells a lot. We've had physical situations, but the physical situations have calmed down a lot.
I'm just like, listen, thank you for telling me that because I had no idea. And every time I asked Isaac, Isaac would just say, that's my family. And that's all I'm going to say about it. So, and she said,
Please don't tell him that I told you.
I'm like, no, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say one word. This is between us. Okay? Sarah didn't really say anything. Sarah was just looking and cooking. Isaac comes back in the house, and Isaac is like,
The food is not done yet.
Sarah is like,
No, almost done. It's almost done.
then he turns and looks at her and says,
You're not done with her hair yet.
she's like,
Yeah, I'm just putting the beads on.
so, and then he looks at me, he's like,
You okay?
I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I wasn't good, y'all. I was still trying to unpack the two wives thing. What are you trying to do, Isaac? You're setting your own rules with this? What's going on here? I'm confused. All right, we eat. We had fish. We had rice. We had some vegetables. It was really tasty. Sarah did her thing in the kitchen. I ain't even gonna hold you, okay? Now it's starting to get dark. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head home. So Isaac is like,
I thought you was gonna spend the night.
so y'all, I wanted so bad. I wanted to start talking my really bad, but I'm just like, I'm not gonna do that, okay? Because I don't want the girl to get into nothing, because she didn't want me to say what she told me. So I'm just like, I try to bring it up some kind of way without causing friction between them. So I'm just like, I'm gonna spend the night, and he's like,
Yeah.
so I'm like, where am I asleep? On the couch? He's like,
Like in the room with me.
so I was like, I don't feel comfortable. You know, you got your mom here, your sister, you know, and their kids. I'm just. So Isaac says,
I want to talk to you about that. I didn't properly explain it to you.
so I'm like, okay. He goes,
That's not my mom and my sister.
so I'm like, what is it, your roommates? He goes,
No, those are my wives.
I'm like, wives, Isaac? Trying to act fake surprised. He's like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, so what are you trying to do with me? He's
It's like I can have up to 4 wives.
really? He's
Like, yeah.
so I'm like, what exactly do you want with 4 wives? Just explain this to me. He's like,
It's a lot to explain. That's what I said to you. I have to explain everything to you.
I'm like, Isaac, I don't know. I don't know. But I'm just like, you know, the way I was raised and where I come from, I know I couldn't even get the words out, y'all. I still can't get the words. I'm just like, I need one man, and I need a man that wants one woman. Okay, I cannot, I won't engage in anything like this.
He's just like, but I think you would be perfect to be my 3rd wife. Like, you really have what it takes.
And I'm like, what it takes? What is this, a game show? Like, what is going on here? Like, he's just like,
Well, I spoke to my brothers about it, and they really didn't like your style, like how you dress and things like that. But I convinced them, like, if I work with her, I feel like she'll be perfect. You'll be over them.
and I was just like, Isaac, I don't know. I'm sorry. I just, he's like,
What, like, is it the thought of bearing children? You don't want to bear kids?
and I said, not with you. I don't want anything to do with you regarding any of this, because this is crazy. This is insane. So he's just like, I'm gonna give you some time. Like, he's just literally ignoring the fact that I'm saying I don't want anything to do with this. He's
I'm gonna give you some time to think about it, because I know it's a lot to understand and things like that. And my wives, they felt the same way in the beginning, but after a while, they fell into place.
did they fall into place, or they were forced into place? Because you just got your own set of rules of how you want to do all this. I don't think this goes like this. So he's just like,
No, they were not forced, and I just feel like a woman should know their place.
and I'm like, you said that before. He goes, yeah. I'm like, all right, Isaac, I'm gonna go ahead and head home. He's
It's like, well, are you gonna think about it, Queen?
I said, yeah, I'll think about it. Y'all, I got in the cab, I got on the train, I went home. I blocked Isaac on my Facebook. I blocked him on my phone. I started to take different routes to school. Okay, I was getting off by the Brooklyn Bridge to get to the school instead of getting off on Fulton. So one day I get a text from a weird, unknown number. It's not saved. It's Isaac. Isaac is like, I haven't seen you walk into school. Your page disappeared on Facebook. I've been trying to call you. I can't get through. Like, what's going on? So I'm just like, I'm gonna just go ahead and tell him just to end this, squash this out. I'm like, so I responded. I said, Isaac, I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you, I don't want to hold you at all. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't want to pursue a collaboration or a relationship with you because you have 2 wives and you have 2 children by these 2 different women. I want to be with a man that only wants me and I only want him. He goes, all right, that's understandable, but did you think about it? Like, this is you're converting. I said, I don't want to convert to anything. No offense to anything, but I'm not interested in that. He goes, well, I already told my brothers that you were going to convert. And, I don't know, what am I going to tell them? Why would you tell your brothers that? That's the main question. Why would you tell your brothers that when you don't even tell me what's going on? I had to find out on my own. He's just like, I know it's a lot to unpack. It'll take some time to get used to, but you'll love it. And it's just like, you'll have friends, the other wives, and then you'll have my wives. Y'all be like sisters. It'd be like a sisterhood. I'm just like, so you want you want us to be sister wives? Like, I'm just like, I'm sorry, Isaac. It was very nice knowing you. It's very nice hanging out with you, but I just don't. I'm sorry. Okay, y'all. Isaac continued to contact me. Not for long, from different phone numbers, still sending me articles about how I should convert, sending me articles about what's life like when you convert, sending articles about being married to a man like him, different things, y'all. And it wasn't convincing. Okay, I didn't want anything to do with that. I just didn't. And it wasn't the religion. It wasn't about converting. It's just the fact that you want me to move into a house with 2 other women that you're married to and have kids with. And then it's just like these women were like really afraid of him. So I just feel like Isaac had his own set of rules. He had his own set of rules. Rules that he was doing things that the religion probably did not even persist of. Okay. And I didn't want anything to do with that. So the recruitment didn't work. And Isaac became very irate with that. And one day he sent me a message. He said that I was a demon woman. I was the devil. I was not about anything. I was never going to be anything. All kinds of stuff, y'all. He just went off on me. He went from 0 to a million. Okay. So after that, I just ended up changing my phone number. That was the last resort. I changed my phone number, and like I said, I found a different route to go to school to where I didn't have to walk past there. After a while, they stopped being downtown. I don't know where they ended up stationing at, but that's my story time, y'all. That is my story time. I hope y'all enjoyed this story time. I have more coming up because, like I said, my life is a motherfucking movie. Okay, Lifetime series movie. So I'm going to do shout outs on the next video because now I have to organize it and write names down. But I want to thank all of y'all once again, all of my new subscribers, all of my continuing subscribers. And if you're just a silent viewer and you're just watching, you haven't decided to subscribe, the view is still a form of support. And I really, really appreciate y'all. Okay. So with that being said, whatever day or whatever time of the day y'all watch this video, y'all stay safe. Y'all be blessed. Tell a friend to tell another friend to tell another motherfucking friend that Kane is on the tube. Okay? So with that being said, I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace.
We can give it something, baby. I get right all the time.